I'm Diane in Denmark, and I know many of us at this time of the year, the new year, we want to make changes and we've got all these goals, but quite often they kind of fizzle out and then we end up beating ourselves up for having failed yet again. Now, I've struggled in the past with being organized, having a messy house, and even if I still have those moments, I found a very simple system that gave me one thing. It gave me hope and it gave me a way forward. And that's what I want for you too. So today, my free gift to you, remember it's always free with me. I'm a canny Scot. And it is a deep dive into the FLYLADY system. Now, I made this video for the Get Organized Virtual Summit, a summit that's attended by people just like you and me around the globe, 120,000 people, and it was one of the most popular classes. And it has been life-changing for me, life-changing for others, and I know it can work for you too. Now, the FLYLADY system is a simple tool, but a very powerful, effective tool to organize your home, organize you, get more joy into your life. And even if you just start with a few small changes, you're going to see big results in your home and in yourself and your family in 2025. So I hope you will subscribe. There will be lots more motivational videos coming as we move into the new year, challenges. But right now we're going to do a deep dive of the FLYLADY system. So grab your coffee or a glass of hot water and let's dive in. Diane in Denmark here, and I am excited to get started with you today. This year's Get Organized Virtual Summit, there's a whole host of brilliant experts and professionals, and we are here to help you get organized and do it the simple way. I'm going to be helping you today to put in some solid daily routines. I'm going to be talking about why we need those routines. Perhaps you are feeling ashamed with the state of your home. Perhaps you're overwhelmed with life, work, family, balancing all those things. And I'm here to help you with that. And also, I'm going to tell you the thing that you absolutely need to be doing to make all of this happen. And I'm not going to tell you what that is right now, because even if I told you what it is, you wouldn't believe me. So I'll keep that for a bit later. And you don't need to go printing anything off today. I've got plenty of printables for you. What I would suggest is that you maybe grab a cup of some kind of refreshment, whatever you need in your hemisphere right now, whether it is hot or it's cold. Maybe grab a notebook and a pen, but the main thing is that you just lean back, listen in and get inspired. Right, so let's dive in. Now, if you've tried having routines before and you're thinking, oh, but it's too much work, you don't have to want to do your routines, you just have to do them. And remember here that routines, it's not more work, it's less work. We're doing things in a timely manner, we're doing them in an ordered manner, and it's taking out the stress from the situation. We're not waiting until last minute to do things. We're going to have some structure, but it's flexible structure. We can change things around. And if you've gone wrong with the FLYLADY system before, it's probably because you're trying to do it exactly as you've seen it on websites or on checklists. You absolutely have to make it your own, because it's a one-size-fits-all system, but you have to make it yours. And that's where often we can go wrong with this, trying to do it exactly the way that we see it, the classic morning routine or the classic evening routine. We need to make sure it's actually working for our families, our lifestyle, our homes, because that's where you're going to see the biggest results, the biggest benefits. It's going to be working for you, it's going to be a support, it's going to be a framework, and it's going to make it easier for you to run your home and give you a lot less stress and hopefully a lot more joy. So the first thing we're going to talk about is having some daily routines. Now, you may have tried the FLYLADY system before. Hands up if you've done that. Maybe it didn't work for you. Maybe you're using some other kind of system. Maybe you don't know why you need a daily routine. The reason that I first went looking for daily routines is I was feeling overwhelmed with everything and I just needed a starting point. And I went looking and I found the FLYLADY system. Now, I've been using the FLYLADY system since 2006 when my kids were very small, and now they are this size. They've moved out, they have their own apartments. And I did it all the wrong way and I've made all the mistakes. So I am an expert in the FLYLADY system. I've also worked as a FLYLADY mentor. I know all the ins and outs, been there, done that, got the t-shirts, I've made all the mistakes, and I'm here to show you how you make it work for you. And even if you are not enjoying using the FLYLADY system, I've got tips to make any system work for you. So the FLYLADY system is based on having some simple daily routines. And we have those not just for the everydays to keep life moving along, but you'll find that they are especially helpful on the times that things are really stressful. Perhaps one of the kids is ill, you're super busy at work, maybe you are in a period of grief. They're just the framework of our day that keep things ticking along. I have got videos and printables for you which will help you to identify what you need to have on your list, but I'll quickly run through my top 3 for morning and for evening. And these are my 3 things. Perhaps your 3 things look completely different. Mine is I absolutely must be dressed. I've done that thing of getting out of bed and wearing pajamas all day. That doesn't work for me. I'm not productive. So I absolutely have to be dressed. That's number 1 for me. I always make the bed. I do that after I've had my shower, got my clothes on, air the bed, make the bed. That's a little win right there first thing in the morning. And also checking what is for dinner, because that was a major stress factor for me years ago. That kind of 5 o'clock, oh, what's for dinner, Mum? And I hadn't planned it. These days I have it planned. I'm postmenopausal, so quite often I can't remember what I have planned, but I look at my menu plan and I go, okay, that's what is for dinner. And if I need to take something out the freezer or get it started in the slow cooker, in the crock pot, I can do that. And you'll see here that in this little help checklist, we've got a start time and a finish time. If you have been having difficulty with your routines, it's probably one of 2 things. Either you've got this routine that you want to do, but you haven't actually put a start time on it and you're procrastinating on it. Actually saying out loud the time that you want to start this routine, that just gives us that little nudge. So I would really recommend that you have an estimated start time for your routine, and it may vary depending on the day of the week. Maybe it's different at the weekend, from Mondays to Fridays. That's how it is for me. But just having that start point will get you over the hurdle of actually getting started. Now, conversely, if you're a bit of a rebel, if you don't like being constricted by the thought of having a daily routine, you may work better by having an end goal. Maybe you work well with projects when you know the deadline is coming up. There, I would absolutely suggest that you have an end time in your head. Again, that'll just give you that nudge that, oh, we're coming up for the deadline. Now, you know, the fire is underneath you, and that'll push you forward. And with all of the things for routines, I always find it really, really helpful to use a timer. Now, I know you have a timer on your phone. I use my smartphone for filming, no fancy equipment here. But I actually prefer to use an old-fashioned timer. And the wind-up ones are really good, especially for kids, because they can see the time counting down. And I like to use an old-fashioned one because it stops me from looking at my phone because, oh, suddenly there's a notification or something that will take away my focus. The timer will help you to focus, and also it gives us that permission of when the timer goes off, I get to stop. But it puts the blinkers on us, and it keeps us focused in for, I would suggest 15 minutes, 20 minutes, max 30 minutes. And I have lots of YouTube videos where I go into whether you actually need an evening routine. If you have small kids, if you're working at home during the day, I would advise you actually not to have an evening routine, but just to have a morning routine and an afternoon routine. But the main thing is that you have some form of routine to get things done in your day. And I'll tell you what's in my evening routine. Making sure that I have my outfit ready for tomorrow, so there's no excuses when I wake up, I can just grab that outfit and go. Closing down the kitchen. If you know the FLYLADY system, we kind of clear the counters and wipe out the sink. The main thing for me is that after we've eaten dinner, as soon as we've eaten dinner, when the kids were small, they had the chores that everybody clears away their plates, glasses, cups, puts them in the dishwasher. I was wiping down the counters, they would wipe the table, they would make their packed lunch boxes when we were all together in the kitchen. And the kitchen isn't done until everything is put away, and that's when everybody can go off and enjoy the rest of the evening guilt-free. So that's an important thing for me. And if you have family members who kind of come back later and make food and make a mess, you may want to write on a sheet of A4 paper, please keep this area clean, and actually put it in the sink. That's a good way to stop them from doing that. And the other thing that I have on my list says PUPA. PUPA, the living room. Now, PUPA means pick up and put away. So whenever we've been in the living room in the evening, before we go to bed, we take anything out of the living room that doesn't belong there, put it in its proper place, take away the teacups and the box of biscuits, because that's what we have in the evening here in Denmark. And it just gives me this feeling of everything's back in its place. It only takes 5 minutes. Again, if you haven't done this before, you may want to set a timer, get everybody to do it just for 5 minutes to help you with that. But it just gives you that nice feeling going to bed that everything is in its place. And when you're consistent with it, it only takes a couple of minutes. And you can see here in this little checklist, I also wrote on why I have the morning routine or why I have the evening routine. And I want you to think about that today. Maybe you've seen the title of this video and thought, oh yeah, everybody's talking about morning routines and evening routines. I want you to think about why you want to have a routine. Do you want to avoid that stress in the morning, getting the kids off to school and everybody's screaming at each other and you can't find the school bags? Maybe that it's in the evening that you want to fully enjoy your evening and not be falling asleep on the sofa and then waking up and realizing that the kitchen hasn't been cleaned up and we're staying up late, desperately trying to do things when we're half asleep. Think about why you want to have the routine, and that will make it much easier for you actually to be consistent with it. And I also added in these little check boxes for Monday to Sunday where I could check off and how I feel once I've done my routine, because quite often we don't feel like doing it, but you know, it's like going out for that walk or doing that homework assignment. You've been putting it off, but once you've done it, it feels so good. So the daily routines are going to be looking after all the things that you need to get done in a day. That could be putting on a load of laundry. It could be doing the dishes. It could be taking the dog for a walk every morning and every evening. And I would strongly suggest in the beginning that you just go for 3 things. 3 things that are going to make you move forward on a daily basis. And I have lots of videos on my YouTube channel about pinpointing what is essential for you to have on your daily routines list. It will depend upon whether you are working outside the home, whether you're leaving the home daily to go outside and work somewhere else, or whether you are inside the home working. And I've got lots of tips and advice of how to change up what is on your list. But remember here, just keep it very simple. Just 3 things for morning, 3 things for evening. And once you've got those underneath your belt, then you can move forward. And I've been doing my routines for years. They are automatic, but I still have them written down because I do have days where I've got a case of the blahs, where I'm feeling a bit sad, perhaps I'm grieving, maybe I'm just getting back into things after illness. It really helps to have them written down. Also know that on those times when life is really difficult, just having that routine, it takes out the guesswork for us. We can look at our list, what do we need to get moving here? What do we need to get us moving through the day? And I find them very, very comforting. And then talking about taking the guesswork out of things, I want to go on to now talking about how to organize your week. And we are talking about housekeeping. We are talking about managing the home, work-life balance, family. Outside activities, how are we going to fit that all in? Well, in the FLYLADY system, we've got the daily routines, and then we have the housekeeping aspect, and also managing our week, managing our month. Now, the housekeeping, we have a weekly upkeep clean, power hour, whatever you want to call it. There are 7 tasks, and we're not cleaning the whole house, we're cleaning the high traffic areas, the areas that we use on a daily basis. For me, that is our living room, the hall, the entryway where people come in, and the kitchen and the little downstairs bathroom toilet that we have. And we just spend 10 minutes on each of the tasks. Now, I'll show you the tasks here. And one of them is changing the sheets. I find that we only need to change our sheets every second week. When the kids were still at home, they would change their sheets one week and then the adults the next week. Going through newspapers, magazines, any papers you've got, 10 minutes on that. And another 10 minutes on dusting the flat surfaces or getting the cobwebs up in the corners or down on the skirting boards. Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes on vacuuming or sweeping, Swiffering, whatever you like to do. 10 minutes on mopping. And I know you're going to say here, oh, but it's going to take forever. No. Just set your timer and do as much as you can in the 10 minutes because, again, it puts the blinkers on us and it keeps us focused on the task and you can really get a lot done. And we're not aiming for perfect here. We're just aiming to get it done. Done is better than perfect. And sometimes we have that tendency to say, oh, I don't have enough time to mop the floor. Because you're really saying, I don't have time to do it perfectly and get into the corners with a toothbrush. We're throwing that thinking out the way. We just want to get it done. And then 10 minutes, grab a rag and quickly wipe down mirrors, any glass doors. If you can do a couple of windows as well, do that too. Then set your timer again. Gather up all the trash, all the recycling, and get that moved out of the house. And it just gives us that feeling of being in control. We've done a little bit, but we're being consistent with it. And with all these things, make sure you get other family members involved. You can make it a game, set the timer, get everybody helping, or the kids can be doing their sheets while you're taking off the sheets in your bedroom. Everybody is helping. And you can do this on a set day per week. You can spread it over the course of the week. I do it in different ways depending on what's going on with my schedule, how I'm feeling that week. But having the list just gives us that guidance. Well, we don't know what to do, we can go to the list. And then you're probably wondering, what about all the other areas in the house and what about all the other cleaning? That's where the FLYLADY zone cleaning comes in. Now, I won't get into that too much today, but the FLYLADY divides the house up into 5 zones. And each zone, each week, we have time just to spend a little more time doing some more detailed cleaning. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not allowed to clean in there the rest of the month. It just means that when we're in that week, our focus is on that. And again, set a timer, 10 minutes, look at the list. We're not working through the whole list every week, but just identify 1 or 2 things that are really, these really stand out to you and work on those. And again, the whole idea here is it doesn't need to be perfect. We just need to be doing something. Because again and again, I see people who've maybe tried the FLYLADY system. They're trying to do everything and that doesn't work. We're not supposed to be doing everything. We're supposed to be doing something, and just being consistent with the basic tasks is really going to change things for you. Okay, so far so good. We've got some daily routines. We're adding in a weekly upkeep clean of the house. And we also have a plan for when we're ready to do a bit more detailed cleaning or detailed decluttering in our homes. So far so good. But then what about all the other stuff? Paying bills. What about some time with the family, having some fun with them? Grocery shopping, errands. Well, don't worry, in the FLYLADY system, that's also taken care of. All the guesswork has been taken out for you. There's a plan for that. It's called the daily focus or the weekly plan. And I'll go through the categories for you. And it doesn't have to be on these days. This is just a guideline for you. And when you really do not know what to do, like I was back in 2006, I just found it really helpful just to go with the days mentioned, and it gave me something to work on. And you will see that once you start using this yourself, you can change it around and use it on the days that work for you best. So Monday is the upkeep clean of the house, the weekly home blessing hour, power hour, whatever you want to call it. And as I've said, sometimes I do it all in one go, sometimes I spread it over the course of the week. Tuesday is called Plan and Play, which is desk day. Now, in the old days, in the FLYLADY system, that used to be on a Friday. It's now been moved to Tuesday. We're not spending the whole day plan and play, but again, instead of putting these tasks off forever, you sit down, again, grab something to drink, set a timer for 10 minutes and get started. We're just looking at our calendars. What is coming up? Do you have any bills to pay? Plan your menu for the week. So you maybe look and see what's in the fridge, what needs using up. Plan your menu so you can add things to your grocery list. And it's just taking 10 minutes to focus on all those things that we need to plan. And also, it's called Plan and Play Day. I like to plan some play because I know for me, if I do not plan some play for me or the family, if it doesn't get planned, it's probably not going to happen. So usually on a Tuesday, I will get in touch with a friend. I'll send a message and say, hey, shall we meet up and go for a walk together, or go and see a movie next month? And it's just reaching out and making sure that I've got something in the diary, because we all need something to look forward to. And then moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday is Anti-Procrastination Day. Now you're going to say, what is that? Have you ever had that thought of, oh, there's a light bulb that needs changed, but you're going to have to get a ladder out because it's in a hard to reach area? Or maybe you've got tax papers that you should be handing in, but it's causing you stress and you keep on putting it off. On Anti-Procrastination Day, it's always on a Wednesday, you can make it any day that you like. It's really useful when you think of these little items that you keep on putting off or you don't want to do, write them down on a list. I keep mine on Google Keep on my phone. And then when Anti-Procrastination Day rolls around, you set your timer for 10 or 15 minutes and you get started on your list. Because quite often we're just putting those things off. We don't want to do it. And once we get started, the relief that comes in, and often it doesn't take that long. Then moving on to Thursday. Thursday is Errand Day. Once again, it doesn't matter which day you do it. It's just nice to have your list ready in advance. And Errand Day is doing anything that you need to do when you are outside of the home. So that could be grocery shopping. Maybe you have to post a parcel at the post office. Perhaps you have library books to hand in. Medication to pick up from the pharmacy. If I'm out running errands in the car, I will also fill up with petrol. Though usually I'm running my errands here on my bike. Here in Denmark, everybody bikes everywhere. And as I said, it doesn't matter if you cannot do that on a Thursday. The main thing is that you have your list written down of all the things that you need to get done when you are outside the home. Because that way we are saving ourselves time and energy. You don't need to be running to the store every time you think of something. Get it down on your list so next time you are out and about, you've got your list with you, and that will save you time and stress. And then moving on to Friday. Friday in FLYLADY Land is the day that you will look in your car. Do you have any items in the car that need to be brought back into the house? Do you have any rubbish in the car? Recycling? Grab a couple of bags, get the kids to help you with that. Also, Friday is the day that we are going to go through our handbags, our purse, baby changing bag, baby's pram, stroller. We're just going to go through those bags, kids' backpacks, get the kids working on it too. Again, it's really helpful to set a timer just for 5 or 10 minutes. Get the kids to go through their backpacks. Do they have forms that need to be signed in there? Do they have packed lunch boxes that need to be washed out, water bottles, sports gear that needs to go into the washing basket? We're just looking through our bags, seeing what's in there, taking out what we don't need in there, and so it's ready for the next time. And it's just something we do once a week, and it just gives us that feeling of we know where everything is. And often we can do these things that only take a few minutes. Maybe you're waiting in a queue somewhere, you can quickly go through the bag. And Friday is also date night, but hubby and I, we actually prefer to stay home. We prefer to go out on other nights. And what I usually do is I put together a little family snack basket. And then Saturday and Sunday, I like to combine those, family fun and rest and recharge. Now, if you're single, this also applies to you. If you don't have any family, this also applies to you. But just taking that time at the weekend, or it can be any day of the week that suits you, to actually do something together. Play a board game, go out for a walk together. Just making time for it, actually putting that as part of our schedule. Because rest and recharge, it's so important. It's really so important. And you will see that all of these things, it's just the things that we need to get done on a weekly basis. And you don't need to go by these days of the week. If you're working shifts, maybe that will change from you week to week. But the main thing is that you have them written down, just the categories, and that way you have a plan for when you're ready for it. I coach privately, and one of the main reasons for people getting overwhelmed with things is because they don't have a plan. Now, I've been using the FLYLADY System since, as I said, 2006. And in the beginning, I didn't use the daily focus, the weekly plan, because I was at home with the kids and I thought, well, I can do these things any day. That doesn't apply to me. I was very wrong about that, because actually I was overwhelmed with all the things that I had to do. And I didn't know when I was supposed to be doing it. And when I started following the daily focus, things just kind of clicked. It took out the guesswork for me. And often it's that not knowing when we're supposed to be doing things that is a major stress factor for us. So I strongly advise you, even if you've been doing the FLYLADY System for years and you've been doing the daily routines and doing the cleaning, the zone cleaning, if you haven't done the daily focus yet or haven't tried it, why not now? Give it a go and let me know how you get on with it. And now, drum roll please. I'm going to tell you what you need, absolutely need, to make all of this work. To take away all the stress, to take away all the strain, to give you renewed energy. Can you guess what it is? No, it's not a form of exercise. No, it's not some kind of supplement that you need to be taking. It is self-care on a daily basis. And I know you're not going to believe me about this. And this was the number one thing that has really helped me since finding any systems in the past, I would say, 20 years. Self-care daily. And I put it off again and again because I'm just like you. I was thinking, oh, but I've got so much to do. I need to put on another load of laundry. I need to help the kids with their homework. I need to finish this project at work. When I really stopped to think about it, when I really started implementing it, self-care daily changed everything. If your mojo has gone missing, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling anxious, if you've got a case of the blahs, please take it from me that I have done all the wrong things. I have tried everything, tried all the systems, putting in the cleaning and the zone cleaning and the daily focus and doing all different systems. It's the self-care daily that is going to make a difference for you. Now, because I know you're sitting there thinking, oh, Diane, I don't have time to go to the spa. And we're not talking about taking days off to do those kind of things. Those are great. If you can do that, that's fabulous. Exercise is good. But the main thing is that you're taking care of yourself on a daily basis for a couple of minutes a day. There, I said it, a couple of minutes. Do you have a couple of minutes? It can be as simple as drinking your favorite beverage. Oh, lovely sunshine here in Denmark this morning. Your favorite beverage from your favorite glass or favorite mug. Do you have a favorite mug? Maybe you can ask for one as a gift next time somebody's buying a gift for you. Taking 5 minutes to sit outside in the morning with your tea or your coffee, watching the rain while sitting on the porch. A great way for me to get in some self-care is if I'm having a really bad day, is just to get outside for 5 minutes. That connecting with nature, just getting outside of the house for 5 minutes. You've got small kids, bundle them up, get their raincoats on and get out there. A great tip I can give you is setting a timer for 5 minutes or on your phone. Get outside of the house, walk as fast as you can for 5 minutes, and when the timer goes off, you turn around and you come back home. You've had 10 minutes of exercise, and believe me, you'll be a different person walking the door. And often when I mention self-care, you want to do it and you think, okay, I'll do it, but you don't know what to do. And I've got plenty of ideas on my website, dianedenmark.com. I've even got ideas by the FLYLADY zones, themed by FLYLADY zones. It can be as simple as having a bloom and putting it on your dressing table. Just that little act that shows you're doing something for yourself, and it'll make you smile when you see your dressing table. Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to do a Sudoku or part of a jigsaw puzzle. We don't need to finish the whole thing, just doing something for us. Even when you're at work, I strongly suggest that you have a little box or basket. I have a small perfume. I can put on a few dabs of perfume when I'm between clients. Rub in some hand cream, a little healthy snack or not so healthy snack. Put together a little basket for yourself. Perhaps you are a grandparent, you've got a little photo book with photos of your grandkids. You can just take that out and look at that. A colouring book and some pens. An eye mask. Put on some cordless headphones and listen to your favourite music. Listen to an audiobook, one chapter. Just taking a little time every day just for you. And one of the things I would recommend in putting into your pamper or self-care basket is a timer, because quite often we're so used to running around doing everything else, putting out all the fires, that it's really difficult for us to sit for 5 minutes. Set the timer for 5 or 10 minutes and just sit and be. But we don't want you sitting there for too long. We want you up off your bahookie and moving again. But you get the idea. But we're just taking some time for us. It's so important, because unless you're taking time for you, all the rest isn't going to happen. So I hope you're feeling inspired. We've got ideas for our daily routines, how to implement those. We've got a plan for the house, not just for the housekeeping, cleaning the house, detail cleaning the zones, but also looking after the daily management, the day-to-day management of your home, making sure that works together with your work life. And the main thing, the daily self-care. What is going to be first on your list today? And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them for you. As I said, I've got plenty of videos on YouTube. Usually my videos on YouTube, I keep them between 5 and 15 minutes long. Today we've had a bit more time together. And I don't just teach the FLYLADY system, I show you it in action. I post daily on Instagram and on my Facebook page. I would love to see you there. And I show you how I use the FLYLADY system, or just daily routines on a daily basis to get some more joy into my life and take the stress and overwhelm away. And I hope I have inspired you to do that today. And you may have seen these in my YouTube videos. Why do I have pom-poms? Because I'm here to be your cheerleader, cheering you on every step of the way. This is me, Diane in Denmark, signing off. I hope to see you soon. Okay, bye for now, and rah, rah, rah. You can do it. And is anybody still there? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, subscribe. There's going to be lots more motivation for you coming in 2025. Challenge coming up soon. So all I've got left to say, give a little pom-poms again. Shake them off, ready for 25. See you very soon with the rah, rah, rah. Okay, bye for now.